How you doing, guys? It's your boy Nando, and you know what it is. It's the Pound for Pound Boxing Show in association with Seconds Out Coffee. Today, got a very special guest. It's the legend, Heather Hardy. Let's see if we can get Heather right now. How you doing, Heather?
Hi there. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Happy New Year, by the way, and thank you for taking your time to speak to us today.
Thank you. You as well. Let me see if I can make this a little louder. Okay.
How was your holidays?
Oh, it was lovely. It was lovely. Happy they're over and I'm back to work.
Brilliant. During the holidays, did you know about this up and coming fight? Like, was you getting ready for camp, or was you able to enjoy the holidays properly before starting camp?
No, I was able to enjoy the holidays, and I had been training just to train to see if I really wanted to do it. So I was in the swing of it, but not super intense yet.
Brilliant. And the last time me and you spoke was last year, and I remember, you got offered the fight to come to the UK, and you said, as a female fighter, you should be paid more, and obviously the offer wasn't enough. So I'm guessing the offer was enough now to come and make your UK debut, finally get you in the UK.
Yes, I was offered something really terrible, and at the end of negotiations, we were able to come close to where I wanted to be. So, a lot of people don't realize, $20,000 for a fight, while it's a lot when you compare to what women were paid 15 years ago, but it's not a lot in terms of what you walk away with after the fight. I mean, a $20,000 fight is often a break even when you consider percentages that go to your corners, taxes, expenses, being away from work. So yeah, I needed to know I was going to walk away with some money to pay my daughter's tuition next year.
Of course, of course. And how's it been that, of course, last year you made your comeback to boxing after 2 years of being out of the ring as well. How's it been, training and being a mother at the same time? How have you juggled doing both?
It's really challenging. It's probably the hardest thing in the world, being a mother and doing anything else. So having to focus so much of me on my career, and then I have a full-time job, and then my daughter, it's really cutting yourself in a lot of different pieces.
Of course. And I remember last year when we spoke, you said your daughter's going to go to college. She's all grown up now. So, you want to spend as much time with her before she goes off, right? So it must be hard to be in camp at the same time doing that.
Oh, it's really challenging. It definitely is. And her whole life has been a combination of sacrificing time with mom so that I could work, but so that we can live the lifestyle that she's used to. So I think that goes without saying with any career mother is going to sacrifice time with their kids and their family so that they can live a better life.
Of course, of course. I want to go back to last year. You made your comeback after 2 years against Jessica Kamara as well. We'll talk a bit about the fight, but first of all, on fight night and when you finally got into the ring, how did it feel to finally be back in front of the New York crowd as well, and have the fans back, and just being back in boxing in general?
Sure. So I wasn't in New York. I was in Nashville. It was the first time I'd ever boxed out in New York. So that was weird. And I'd gone from boxing at the Barclays Center and at Madison Square Garden to fighting in a hotel. And I was in like a hotel conference room. So it was actually really strange for me. Like, I never really got into that fight like I should have. And I've spoken to a lot of fighters who've had like extensive careers, and you do get to that hump where you're just like, what am I doing? What am I doing here? Right. And that's kind of how that last fight went. And it really gave me a couple months to think about, like, do I actually want to do this anymore? Am I done? Do I want to retire? Does my heart still in boxing? Because I can say for that last fight, my heart really wasn't in boxing. And it was a sad kind of, wow, this is happening. The fight felt like a sparring session almost. And I never really had that same fire.
What did you, apart from, you're saying that you wasn't really into it, but what did you learn from the loss going into this fight, looking back?
I think the best lesson I learned was that this isn't something you can do unless you really want to do it. It's not like you know, getting a workout over with, or, you know, going to a job that you hate just because you need the money. I mean, this is the kind of career that if you don't love it and want it so bad, then there's no reason to compete, because you're either going to get hurt, you're going to hurt yourself, you're going to hurt other people, you're going to let other people down. You know, it was a real eye opener that I wasn't passionate about boxing anymore. And it really showed throughout the whole fight. So I realized, okay, I can either retire or I have to find my way back. And I really believe that I found my way back.
I'm glad to hear that. I think a lot of your fans are happy that you continued. We were shocked when we saw this Terri Harper fight. I was ecstatic, especially being in the UK. I've always wanted to see you live, and to finally see you live in the UK is going to be amazing, because a lot of people don't understand that even though Terri Harper's from the UK and she's going to have the UK crowd, Mick Connor's going to be there, and the Irish crowd are going to be there too behind you as well. So the atmosphere is just going to be unbelievable. Is that literally going to be like being in Dublin or something, because it's just going to be unbelievable. So
Yeah,
looking forward to
I
that.
couldn't help but feel like they did that on purpose, right? You know,
I
Heather
felt
did
like
it
that
with
as
the
well.
Irish fans.
I think it's a great opportunity for yourself. And looking back at, have you seen much of Terri Harper throughout her career? Have you seen her fights?
Yeah, I'm actually a fan. I've because she's in such a close weight class to mine at 130, and as a boxing fan, I've just tuned in and watched her fights. You know, she's a hard worker and she's a nice kid. You know, you can't help but respect someone like that in the sport. So yeah,
Of
I've
course, and
definitely
you're
been
both,
tuning into her career. Hmm?
and you're both two former world champions as well, and it's a great matchup. You know, it's her first time going to the lightweight division, but her team faced a lot of criticism going into the Baumgardner fight as well, coming back from a really serious hand injury. You know, the likes of Michaela Mayer, you know, criticizing her team, saying it was a little bit too soon for her to go into a fight like that. Do you agree?
I tend to mind my own business. It's none of my business. When you don't know what's going on over there, you don't know the inside, the outside. I mean, I don't know what made them make that decision, but it's none of my business, right? Like, you know, I honestly, I remember when they called me for this fight, I felt so insulted. I was like, why are they coming for me like I'm a nobody? Like, this girl just got knocked out and they want her to fight me. Like, am I that much of a joke in boxing that? And my coaches was like, yo, shut up. Shut up. Either they're sleeping on you, they got something planned, who knows what it is, but you ain't in charge of that kid or that kid's career. I thought, okay, this is just focus on yourself.
I don't think you should feel like that, because when I saw this fight announced, I was like, this fight is going to be harder than the Baumgardner one. Her team again faced criticism from the UK fans and said, you know, a lot of people, including Michaela Mayer, again said, you know, Heather Hardy's not an easy fight. You know, you're literally getting thrown into the lions then. So
I know, but there's only one or two things. Either they think I'm a joke or they don't care too much about this girl. There's only two things. They think I'm a joke. I'm some 40-year-old washed up lady that's going to be an easy fight, or they don't care about her. And either way, it just make you think. But you could go back and forth, back and forth. Which one is it? It's none of my business, no matter what it is. I just got to go out there and get a job done, you know. But I was really surprised because I know I don't have a lot of knockouts, and that's something, you know, you look for. You know, they're gonna look for in an opponent for her, someone who ain't gonna really hurt her, right? Natural 126, fighting at 135. You know, I didn't come into my last fight and be very impressed, but yo, I got a very big, deep reputation of being a tough, gritty fighter who don't back down, who don't get hurt, who don't stop. So I just was really insulted and surprised, but you know, what it is.
do you use it as fuel to come into this fight and to prove people wrong? If if you do at the back of your mind still have them think, maybe is it the team don't respect her enough or they don't respect you enough? Either way, do you use it as fuel to come into this
It's
fight?
funny because like my coaches will say that, you know, they'll be like, come on, old lady, and try to get me going. But, you know, at the end of the day, this is just my job. I don't need any any extra push. Like, part of what I'm coming off my last fight realizing is that I gotta want to win more than I want to do anything. And I remember those feelings, like waking up in the morning of a training camp and counting down the days and Xing off my calendar and just envisioning that win. And I kind of lost that in the last couple of years. I started going through the motions just like it was work. So I don't really think I need no fuel or nothing like that to go in with this motivation like I am. Terri and I both have equal stakes to lose, right? Whoever don't come out of this fight a winner, your future's kind of questionable in the sport of boxing.
Of course, I totally agree with that. And has it always been on your bucket list to fight in the UK? Have you always wanted to come here and fight?
I did. If I'm being honest, I've always wanted to go to Ireland. Always. My family is from Dublin and from Scotland, and that was always kind of like I'd love to be, to at least to go there so I could see it, because I never got to see it. But I've never been to Europe, so just knowing that I can go over there and see some of my fans that have been cheering for me and following me and rooting for me all these years, I mean, that's great.
Of course, of course. And looking back at Terri Harper's career and even yours, what makes both of you different from each other's opponents? What makes Heather Hardy different from any opponent that Terri Harper has ever fought?
I don't know. She's fought a lot of really good people, right? Like, she fought Eva. Am I right? She fought Eva.
Did she fight Eva?
I thought she did. Maybe I'm wrong. But she also fought
Maybe.
Tasha, who's an Olympian,
Yeah.
She went in deep waters with some real serious fighters. So, when she turned around and her team said she got knocked out because she wasn't in the right weight class, I have to respect that, because I should never have been fighting at 126 my last two fights. I shouldn't have fought for the world title at 126. I can honestly say I was this close to being put in the hospital just making that weight, spitting in the cup on the way to the scale. So I totally relate to that. It's not just, oh, it's uncomfortable making the weight. Sometimes those last 2 pounds, you got to do things that you don't even know grown people can do to make it. So, you've seen her fight some really experienced people. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm the most experienced. I'm this, I'm that, I'm the third, but you got to say she's coming into this fight in not the best position. So if I had any upper hand, it would be that one, right? Like, she's not coming in. Everybody's kind of saying, wow, what's she going to do? And this is the first time in her career probably that people is thinking that. But I can't worry about her,
But this is a big opportunity for both of you, because the winner could end up fighting the winner of Serrano and Katie Taylor, and that's a huge fight. They're calling it the biggest fight in women's boxing history when they fight at Madison Square Garden. If I'm sure you're gonna tune in or maybe attend. How do you see that fight? Are you going with Katie Taylor or your old foe Amanda Serrano?
It's really hard to say, because I've fought Amanda, because I've been in there with her, because I don't think that you can replicate or explain to people what it feels like being in there with somebody like her. But then you're talking about an Olympic gold medalist. So, I'm not on the same level as Katie, where I could feel like, oh, because I fought Amanda, I know how it's going to be, right? Like, I just think it's going to be a great fight, an exciting fight. And I'm never one to call out who I think is going to win, because boxing is one of those things that can change like that. We're not talking about two people on two different levels. These are elite fighters going head to head. And, we're going to see what happens. That's what's so great about it.
I personally think, as a big fan of yours, you beating Terri Harper, and if Katie Taylor wins, you should call her out, because her dream is to fight in Dublin. Your dream is to fight in Dublin. So imagine Katie Taylor, Heather Hardy, Dublin, undisputed title. That's history in the making there. So you should go for it.
I would love that, but I got a lot of proving myself to do. I'm coming off a couple losses, and I find it so tasteless when you see people not in a position to call people out. Do it. When you see people win one big fight, now all of a sudden they blah, 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 blah. That never was me. Even in my prime, I would never do that, because you know, the truth is Katie could fight whoever she wants. Amanda could
Of
fight
course.
whoever they want because they know that's where all the money is. Everybody want to fight those girls. Then you get paid. So I think I got a long way to go before I could call someone out. Now, if I beat Terri and Katie wants to fight me, yes. College tuition money is coming. But I would never feel like I'm in the position, even after just one win, on a comeback, to call out somebody, you know, of that caliber who's been so busy and so successful.
Of course. I want to talk about an opponent of yours that you fought last year, Jessica Kamara. I don't know if it would have been the same situation. Obviously, she went on to fight Callie Ray in this tournament for undisputed in the super lightweight division as well. She obviously lost to Callie Ray. Chantel Cameron beat Mary McGee. Now it's the final for the undisputed. Who would you, as a boxing fan, as a fan of women's boxing, who wins that fight between Callie Ray and Chantel Cameron for the undisputed?
Well, it's funny. Chantel's in New York now. We're gonna do some sparring tomorrow, so maybe
Oh,
tomorrow I'll have a
amazing.
better I'll have a better answer for you. I do know my friend Melissa fought her, and I talked to, you know, you see how strong she was. So again, you have two talented fighters. So that's another exciting fight you'll be able to see.
That sparring would be amazing. Anyone that I've ever spoken to about Chantel Cameron, apparently she can hit. Apparently,
Yeah, that's
power.
what. Yeah, but we know I'm tough. I'm gonna be okay.
Of course, of course. Heather, before I let you go, do you have a message for the fans that are going to be traveling to the UK, the ones that are here already and going to be just coming to the stadium and tuning in live on the Zone on March the 12th to see you take on Terri Harper for the WBC International Lightweight title?
Well, let me just tell everybody, I'm gonna be bringing a big box of Heather the Heat Hardy t-shirts. So if you want to be in the building supporting the Heat, I'm gonna bring some t-shirts to throw them out at the press conference and weigh in and all this stuff. So if you're gonna come support me, I got your back.
Brilliant. I'll take a XL if it's
I'm gonna bring
available.
it with me.
Obviously, I know you've never been the one to ever trash talk and call anyone out, but what's going to happen on March the 12th?
I think you're gonna see again, like I won't call somebody else's fight or put it to who I think is gonna win, and I'm not even gonna do that to this fight, right? Like I think coming off my last fight, I fought a lazy fight, I fought a sloppy fight, I fought an unenthusiastic fight. So for me to come up here and make you guys promises, it's just, man, we're at that point where I just am working so hard in the gym, working so hard on having this right. So I just go in there and, you know, let everybody know I'm back.
Brilliant. It's good to see you back as well. And you seem happier compared to when we spoke last year as well. You seem more focused on this fight, and it's good to see you back as well.
I really am.
Especially in the UK.
I'm excited.
Amazing. Heather, I just want to say again, thank you for taking the opportunity to speak to me. It's an absolute pleasure to speak to you. And I can't wait to finally meet you in the UK, see you fight in the UK.
Yeah,
I wish you nothing but the best of luck.
All right.
Take care. Stay safe.
You as well. Bye-bye.